Hi everyone and welcome to today's lesson of 3D drawing for your model railway. Someone on Facebook made a comment about how to create a snowplow that would go on the front of a locomotive. What I've drawn here is just a sketch based on some pictures and to try and give you an idea of how I would go about creating that shape. Initially what we've got, if I show you a slide on profile, is this straight section at an angle backwards and then it curves upwards as it goes higher. But you'll also notice, if I show you around to the other side, that the centre is actually at a lower point than the two outside edges. To be able to do this, we're going to use quite a powerful tool called Loft, and that will enable us to go from one sketch across to another sketch. And I'll also show you a way to be able to get it to go from different shapes into other shapes that you require. So let's get started. Okay, so to draw the snowplow, we're going to start by creating a sketch on the side profile here, and we're going to have a line from the origin outwards. I want it to be 6mm and 116 degrees. Zoom in there, and I'm going to offset. In fact, no, I'm going to fit a spline point. Let's just bring that down. So I'm going to fit a spline point from there. I'm going to start to draw the curve on the blade. Okay. So I'm going to go there. Don't want it to snap on that line. There. And there. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to offset that whole line inwards minus 1.2mm. Okay, and then I'm going to draw that line from there, same angle downwards to the base origin line here, across there, and then I'm going to do the same from there across to there to give me the curve shape. I'm reasonably happy with the curve on the blade there, so I'm going to fix that so that they can't move. Okay, so now I've got that blade shape there. Okay, that's sitting on that plane. Now the thing with the snowplow is it not only does it curve backwards and round, but it also goes back at an angle, a bit like the front of a boat, a bit like the bow of a boat. So I need to now create an offset plane using that sketch. So first of all, I'm going to create an offset plane from that sketch, and I want it to be minus 6mm. Okay, so I'm going to go back into this original sketch, edit that, and then I'm going to left click, drag down to select everything, right click and copy, finish that sketch, and then I'm going to create a new sketch. I should have done that, delete that. I'm going to create a new sketch on that offset plane. Good. And then I'm going to right click and paste. So you can see how it's put it high. What I'm going to do is bring it down to the same level. That's approximately there. Okay, so most of these plows that I've seen looking at the photos, they're slightly high and slightly slightly taller and swept back. So I'm going to drag it back up by I think about 2.5 mil. So minus 2.5mm. And I'm going to go up by 1.5mm. Okay, so what I want to do now is extend these lines to the same level as that line there, so it's going to match this. If I just drag that down and click on OK, and then if I do horizontal vertical from that point to that point, they'll snap so that they match the same now, they'll be the same height. and if you just draw that line down, making sure it's the same height and stays parallel, and then across. I'm going to delete that constraint because I'm going to trim out that little line there. Okay. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we need to take those two profiles and join them into the snowplow. So this is going to show you how powerful this tool can be. If we go create a loft, we're going to go from that profile to that profile, and then what it does is it fills in the blank. So we're going to have the bottom stays the same, and then you've got the diagonal height coming upwards. Okay, so you should be able to see that. If I click on OK, we've now got that snowplow shape that we're looking for. We obviously need it to be two-sided so we can mirror the body. Spin it around, and we're going to mirror on this side face here. So mirror the body, select the mirror plane to be that side, and click on OK. So you've got that. Obviously this is very pronounced. I've got quite a bit of a bow there. You probably wouldn't have that quite so bad on a normal locomotive snowplow, but it gives you an idea of the shape that we're looking for. If I look downwards, we've got that V shape, and if we look from in front, you can see how it's got a bit of a upwards rake as it goes outwards as well. So that loft tool is quite powerful to do that. I'll show you a couple of more examples of where that can be used. Okay, so if we open a new tab, we're going to create a sketch on the side profile again. So we'll start by using our center point rectangle. I'm not worried about the size for the moment. Define it just so that it stays the same. Okay, click on OK, and then we'll create an offset plane from that plane coming outwards. I'll bring it out quite far so you can see. And we're going to draw a sketch on that plane using the center point sign, the center point circle. Click on OK. And then if you do your loft, you can quite comfortably go from a rectangle to a circle. You see how it automatically works out for itself, and it will just design it how it feels best. Okay. If I now show you a little tool that you can use in there, we can actually use what's called guide rails. So if we create a sketch on the side profile, we've got our two sketches are now side on to us. So I'm going to use a spline point, and I'm just going to tell it to curve like that, and then you've got a coincidence there. Nope, that's locked in the wrong position. I want to get rid of that. Get rid of that constraint. Go back again there. Why is it not doing it? Delete that constraint. Right, try again. So for that little circle, there you go. So click there, and we'll do the same in this bottom corner. Click that one to the top there. Okay, and then we'll draw another line on the bottom edge. And we'll try again. That's it. And then we'll coincidence constraints there to there, and that one to that one. Okay, and now if I loft these, go create loft and go from rectangle to circle. So initially it's gone back to how we had it originally. We'll now use the rails and click on plus, use the top rail, and then plus the bottom rail, and click on OK. What it will now try and do is form that shape based off of those rails. Okay. Obviously you can add more rails in. The more the rails you add, the more it will try and work out and define the sketch how you've done it. But yeah, essentially you can use this loft tool quite powerfully to go from any shape to any shape. and I do use that quite often if I'm doing some weird things like rectangles to hexagons or circles, octagons, that sort of thing. It's quite useful for that. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to comment below. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please press the like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.